Welcome. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Desiree Nielsen. I'm with Glory May, and it's my joy and responsibility tonight to go over some of the little things like where the restrooms are, our logistics of the evening, which are always important, and then also I'm going to have the privilege of introducing Andrea Dawn in just a minute. So I promise not to babble on too long, but I'd love for you to just go ahead and take a nice deep breath. We're all very enthusiastic to be here this evening. I've had some great conversations with a few of you as you were walking in. I'm glad that you could be present and available. Andrea Dawn is here tonight. She has done a number of different small group activities and lots of one-on-one sessions, but this is her very first large group experience. So we are sharing in something very special. It's going to be unexpected in the sense that we haven't done it before, so we don't quite know what's going to come through. We don't quite know what we will experience, and we know that we are all sharing in it together. Some of our logistic things, if you have to use the restroom during the event, we will have a break at about 7:15 or 7:25, somewhere in that window, and so you can get up and use the restroom there. But if you're miserable and uncomfortable, please don't be ashamed or embarrassed if your body needs to just get up and go. We won't take it personally, I promise. We want you to be comfortable through the entire night. We're going to be here until 8:30 together, so you can expect a break. But the other thing about the break is the restrooms. We are predominantly women in the room. So if the men can handle it, we actually might take over the men's and the women's restroom. Sorry, men, you're forewarned. And there are stalls, so that's good, but we ask everybody, all genders, to use the stalls. And we also want to let you know that if you can hold it until 8:30 and get back at the break, great. But same thing, most important is that you're comfortable throughout the entire evening. The next thing for you is, speaking of being comfortable, is we are videotaping tonight. Hi, Dave. And the thing about videotaping is you might be wondering, well, why are we doing it? Well, there's a couple of reasons for it. First of all, Andrea is really growing this craft, and she's experiencing this for the first time. She's growing a business, and it's something that as she's doing it, and when she's in a very meditative, clear state, she doesn't actually remember everything that happens. And so part of the benefit of videotaping is for her to go back and actually see what this looks and feels like for people who are receiving it. The second benefit of it is that you too may not actually remember all the things of it if you're receiving a message. And so it's something for you to be able to go back or hear about from. We don't have a method for sharing the videos back yet. We don't have, a website to put it on or a video producer to help us necessarily. So we're just sort of winging it. We're going to start by doing the videography. We're going to see what happens. But because we are doing videography, if you are selected to receive a message, then what we would like to do is at the time that you get the microphone, we'd like to collect that permission to record. Is that okay? So it'll look something like this. I come up, I give you the mic. The paper, okay? We understand that you may share some confidential, private information. If at the end you would like to collect your disclaimer back, you can do that. You can come up, you can talk to us about how you want it used, make some additional notes on it. So we will be here after 8:30, and you can do whatever you need to do at that time if you want to talk more with us about it, okay? The next thing about it is if you really don't want to hand that disclaimer, it will not stop Andrea from giving you a message, okay? Because she's going to be guided by Spirit. She's going to share with you what she sees, feels, and hears. And what's most important to her is that she's being guided to deliver a message, that she delivers that message, videography or not, okay? And then the third thing that's on your thing is, and this is really important, Andrea is certified as a spiritual life coach. She has learned wonderful practices in meditation, neurolinguistics, and some other things as well. But really tonight, she's delivering messages that she feels like they're divinely guided through her. That means that she's not here as a psychologist, a therapist, a physician. And so one of the things that I want you to know is please don't replace anything you hear tonight with professional advice you might get from somebody who is qualified as a lawyer, a physician, a psychologists who can do their important work too, okay? So we want you to enjoy the messages, but we also want you to keep it in perspective, right? And remember that Andrea doesn't always remember everything that comes through. So I hope that afterwards, if you hear something that's really fun and you want her to know about it, you'll fill out the testimonial card and let her know. So that's a big way for her to enjoy and celebrate. Did I do it? Did I do all your logistic stuff? I know. You're like, get off the stage. Let's bring Andrea. Okay. One more thing. So Andrea Dawn is here tonight to help us to awaken to the beauty of our spirit. And my quick story for you is that when Andrea started this, she was a child, but she actually didn't know that this was a gift. She just felt like she could talk to her grandfather, who had long since passed away. And then as she tried to tell people about it, it really wasn't something that everybody else was seeing. Turns out that not everybody was talking to their deceased grandfathers. And so she just sort of put it aside and didn't think too much about it. She had close family members who on occasion she could see their relatives, and she would have their relatives talk to her, but she really didn't tell people that this was going on. And then over the last 5 years or so, she started on a journey of taking a lot of spirituality classes and growing in her spiritual quest to live her best and highest life. And as she did that, what happened is, all of a sudden, these gates opened up. This is really fun time for all of us. What I want to share with you is that Andrea talked to me once, and she was talking to me on the phone, and I was saying I was going through a lot of stuff. And a couple weeks later, I was just in the middle of normal human life, right? And I had this overwhelming feeling of love. And I instantaneously thought of Andrea. And I texted her and I said, gosh, I have this feeling of love. And she texted me back, I'm glad you can feel that. And then the next day I felt it again, and I texted her again. I said, no. I said, I feel like I'm feeling love from you. She says, oh yeah. She says, you came to me, and when your soul came to me, I sent you a flood of love. That had to be the freakiest thing I've ever heard. I'm just telling you, I loved it because I could feel it, but I also was kind of weirded out by it. And so I want you to know that tonight, anything that you experience, feel, and have while you're with Andrea Dawn, I hope that you just do the same thing I do. Enjoy every minute of it. If you're a little freaked out about it, be okay with that. Remember that she's not a doctor, she's not a psychologist, but she sure is amazing and fun and quite funny too. So I'm going to get off the stage, and ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the fabulous, amazing, and super fun Andrea Dawn to awaken our spirit. Woo!
Unmuted.
Excuse all the wrinkles. Second thing is, I'm wearing a dress, and every place is twisted. I will be holding it in my hand.
Oh, you did that. Hey, here I am. Okay, I do, thank you everyone for coming. I do want to expand a little bit about what Desiree had said. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of new ones. Yes, I was 5 years old, and excuse the story again for those that have heard it numerous times, in seeing my grandfather in my room. And yeah, when he showed up, he was in his full Navy uniform with his hat on. And I had heard voices several times before that, but this was kind of freaky. But I talked to him because I could, and we had this conversation, and then the voices just continued. But at the same time, my grandmother was diagnosed crazy, so I never said anything, and I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, so then you really learn to be quiet. So that went on for years, and I still had experiences, but I never said anything. So as life goes on, and trauma goes on in my life, I continued that. Kind of went through life, married young, had 3 beautiful daughters. They took over my life, and still did not acknowledge the gift. And then about 3.5, 4 years ago, had an overwhelming memory come back, and decided I needed to go find myself. And what did that mean, and what did that look like? And who was I? Because all I was technically a mom and a wife. I was not me, and I did not know who I was. So when I decided to go on this journey, it led me to the spiritual center and to some other classes. But really it started here. And I tell this story, there's several of them, but the first one, my carpool friend and from Elk Grove, that's right, and then to work, and then here. So we would carpool to Rancho Cordova from Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova to here every Tuesday night. So the first time, she takes the class first, and then she's reading it to me while we carpool about the book, and I'm like, okay, and she's like, you got to come. Okay, I'll come, because we had done some other things together. So we come to the class, and by the way, this is Reverend Sherry right here, holding space for me, because it's already really big energy, really big energy. So we're in class, and Reverend Patty, who's not here, was talking, and was talking about a friend who had passed, and this folder that was leaning up against one of the chairs just dropped, and I noticed it, and I was just like looking around. Anybody else notice that? Okay, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, my whole left side went wonky. It just went really weird, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I can move my arm, but I feel like I can't move my arm. I can move my leg, but I feel like I can't move my leg. Okay, now it's going up my head, and I'm like, something is weird. What is going on? And then I'm all, this feels like I'm having a stroke, but I know I'm not having a stroke because I don't feel the pain. So what's going on? This is really weird, Freaked myself out. So the class was over, and I just kind of went up to Reverend Patty. I'm like, hey, did your friend happen to die of a stroke? And she's like, why, yes. Why do you ask? I was like, no reason. I felt it out of there. It's like, oh my gosh. And we talked about it all the way home, and I was like, I don't know what's the matter with me. There's something going on, and it was weird. Next class, we're facing this way, and I'm in the back, and she's talking, and it was just like, boom, a light switch went on. All the voices came back, and I just sat there and went, oh, God, I am crazy. I used to tell myself I was crazy. All through a kid, I was crazy. I'm bona fide crazy. And she still continued talking. I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to listen to her. And she's talking, and then I'm like, who's talking to me? Because you're talking about somebody over there. I just met her last week. I don't even remember her name. And you're telling me things I should not know about her. And I was like, oh my God, who is talking to me? Freaked me out again. Get in the car, and I'm like, I don't know what's the matter with me. She happened to be driving that time. I'll never forget, because she's just driving, and she looks over and she goes, well, maybe you can talk to those who've crossed over, and keeps driving. And boom, it just hit me so hard. I was like, memories all through my life, all the times that I did have these experiences, things in my life that happened that I just turned down and just said, oh, that's just weird, or had an excuse or a reason. I mean, you name it, I had it. I was good at denial. And then it all came back, and I'm like, okay, why? And what do I do with this? And what does this mean for me? And, and so on. So I continued on this personal journey, and took more classes, found out more about me, and had more experiences and more. And we would be driving home, and the lights literally on the street would go on, off. We'd go under, they'd go off, and then they'd turn back on, and then off. And then she's like, who's here? I'm like, I don't know. Let me think. And I was like, I don't know. Okay, just give me a minute. I don't know. But I slowly learned how to do this. What did this mean for me? Okay, so what happens is, this is what I have learned in all the years. So I feel energy, and energy on my left side, for whatever reason I've chosen that. I do feel it on this side sometimes, but if it comes through on the right side, it's of a higher realm dimension, whatever you want to call it, like archangels or just higher spiritual beings. This side is where pretty much all the conversation goes. Sometimes I turn, I will say no, or I'll ask questions. So if I'm talking to myself, I'm not really. See, now they know I'm getting to the end of my story. Then they start talking, and then I can't talk because they're talking. Okay, and then I have to remember where I'm at. Yeah, so, okay, wait. This is what happens on my group sessions, too. So, I see, feel, taste, hear all of this stuff. So I can't tell you. I can when it starts. I'll know. They show me. They will do whatever. Sometimes I say they. That would be a collective group. Collective could mean archangels, angel guides, spirit guides, those who have crossed over. I see animals, animal totems, colors, auras, past lives, lives before you, roads before you, fork in your roads. It's whatever it is for your good and healing is what's going to come up. So, as Desiree said, once this starts, I will not remember. I just don't remember. Tomorrow it'll be like, yeah, I know, is everybody there? I just don't, I don't retain because it's not me. So I just am the channel, I'm the go-between, between this and that world and this world. So I just give you the messages. As she did say, sometimes some interesting stuff comes up. Spirit is funny, that is for sure. They were in there making me laugh, so I would calm down. And, we'll see. It goes by like that, I'll tell you that. Okay. Wait, I have to ask if I got everything. I'm pretty sure I did. Just please make sure your phones are off, not that that matters with spirit. And if you do want to record, if I do come to you and you want to record, because I won't remember, but if you want to take notes or turn your phone on to record, you can do that. This was always, for your benefit. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. Somebody's dad's here. He kind of bum rushed. It was really funny. I was like, I know, it's like, I'm almost done. He's like, okay, here I come. And that is how they come through sometimes. They'll bum rush. He's singing, "You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine." And he's just like, on a continual singing that song to you. What's up with the color yellow? He's showing me the color yellow, really bright yellow. Do you have a dress with yellow in it that you just recently wore? Did you go somewhere that was an event? Not here, but before. It's yellow, black. He's showing me a specific dress or a skirt or something that you just wore. I know I put you on the spot. It's okay. Because did you have family? Was there somebody who came to visit? Did you talk to him on the phone? Because he's showing me, but it's because I feel your brother, but it's not your brother. It's not who he's showing me. Is it your mom? Have you talked to your mom?
She just moved down here.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's in reference. Okay.
I was just with her today, actually.
Okay. I just say what they're going to say, and then you interpret it however you want, because he kind of made a little snide remark about the stepdad. So it was...
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it started with a B and ends with an R.
He used to have a shirt that said, "Dirty old bastard." Or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah. Or dirty old buzzard. Or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah, it could be buzzard.
Yeah.
I see the B in the yard.
Yep.
So your mom moved down here because he's like extending a lot of love to her right now. So whatever she's going through, if you could let her know that he is actually with her, of course he's with you as well, but there's something going on with your mom. Okay. I literally feel him hugging her at night right now, so I don't know if she's...
Not sure she'd be happy about that, but okay.
Well, I feel like she's... I feel like some nights he's showing me she's crying herself to sleep.
Okay.
And so he's
That
just
makes
there to
sense.
comfort her and support her. He goes, yeah, I know she wouldn't take it. Okay, it does look like it's a dress that you will be getting, and you are going somewhere. So specifically, it feels like it is with her, and it's some kind of event, because the dress is really cute. Really like it.
With my mom, I'll be going?
Yeah, you'll be going with your mom.
Okay.
And it feels like it's in a, there's no time up there, but in the next couple of months, and it's in a large event. He said, of course, I have to tell you how proud I am of you. And he said, through everything that you have gone through, Sarah, you bring forth always this genuineness about you. And he wants you to stay strong in that and remember who you are always, okay? He just overwhelmed me with this amazing love for you. You were Daddy's girl. And it's never changed. And it's, even though he's on that side and you can't see him, he is there. So did you just see a frog or some kind of frog recently?
I love frogs. I have a tattoo on my foot.
Oh, okay.
My high school mascot was a bullfrog.
Yeah. Well, and frogs represent transformation. So going through a transformation right now for you is where you're at in your life. And it feels like this is a part with your mom as well. You're both going through this. You guys are really connected, and your dad is also showing to be careful for you, that you have to have your own time.
My doctor just told me that.
He's confirming what your doctor just said. He's all, yeah, I'm the doctor.
He would think so.
I know. And what's up with the harmonica? That just flashed right before. Okay, so that'll be something in the future as well. When you see the harmonica, just know at that time, it's not you playing it, but you're going to hear it.
That's good.
That he is going to be with you at that moment. Does feel like you're kind of contemplating something, some kind of decision. So just know that reaching out at that moment, right when you know that you see the harmonica and you remember this right now, you're going to be like, okay, what do I need to know? Because they're going to be there for you to help you, okay? He said, basically, to not worry about your brother. Yeah.
He's in a really good place now.
Yeah. What's up with the girl, though? There's something even like really kind of bad.
I hate her.
I know. Is she doing something, though?
She's an alcoholic.
Though, is she, I feel like she's doing something, though, that the word that they're showing me is like almost detrimental to not just herself, but to others. Is there some kind of an estate or something? I'm showing paperwork. Was there something legal? Did they just get something legalized?
Not that I'm aware of. If they got married, I'll kill him.
Okay. I don't feel like it's marriage, but it does feel like it's some legal document. So I do want to say life insurance. So that's what they're showing me. And your dad just wants you to be aware of, along with your dad. Here comes the bigger energy. It makes my head itch and want to explode. You definitely have an angel right now showing up for you. Okay. So your dad just wants you to be aware of this. Not that anything's going to happen. It's just that it's not right. The way that it got set up, that's all. It's just not right. So if you could just talk to him and make sure that it just, I want to use the word, they're just saying get it straightened out. It's just not right. So that's for you. You'll know and figure that out when the time comes to talk to your brother. And it doesn't feel like it is right now. But they just want you to be aware that that took place. Okay. And then, he's all, I know, I could go all night. Because he's all, there's the stuffed teddy bear. He's just bringing that forth. Feels very old. You still have it? Mm-hmm. Does it sometimes have his smell? Do you smell him on the teddy bear? If you do, you'll...
I put Old Spice on it.
Okay. Because I'm like, I smell something on the bear, and it smells fresh, not bad and old. Okay.
Because it was his scent.
It was his. Okay. Old Spice. Okay. He's all, okay, I'm done. He goes, I don't want to take up the time for everyone else. But again, he's just wanting to extend at how proud and how much he loves you and to keep up the work. And he does really want you to tell your mom about this. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Gosh. I was wondering how this was going to work. There's so much. I was like, who's going to bum rush? Who's going to come through? And then they just tell me, they say, start walking, come, this is where you're going to go. Let's see, I got quite a bit here. Okay, it is for you. Yes. It literally is kind of like arrows and things being pointed. I'm not sure what this is, and nobody's come through yet, but they're just automatically bringing up a checkerboard. Very interesting, but I feel like it's on paper of check marks. They're just showing this to me. If it doesn't resonate right at this moment, that's okay. But I feel the energy coming through, but it was just like a big flash of a checkerboard paper. I mean, I don't. It feels like it could be school, but it doesn't. So, but it's there. We'll see if they'll figure that out and let me know what that means. Okay, who's coming through? Well, you have 3 coming through right now. Not necessarily, although they have not all passed over. It's interesting. I feel like, okay, so there's 3. They're collective, meaning they're really connected. But I keep hearing the word son, but I don't feel like this is one of them is your son. Do you have a son? Yes. So whatever it is, they want to talk about your son. Okay. So that lets me know something's going on with your son. So let me have them show me his energy. Does he play sports, or did he play sports?
Yes.
Yeah. It seems like, well, I see a soccer ball, but I feel like that was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he continued in different things as well. Did he play baseball at one point?
No.
Did he play with something with a small ball? Because they're showing me, I'm not sure if it was actually in a game, but I feel like he got hit in the head with the ball. Were you aware of this?
When he was young, when he was about 3, yes.
He got hit really hard in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah. And it
was accidental, but he wasn't playing sports.
Okay. Were you aware, because they're showing me that he had a concussion. Were you aware of this?
No.
Okay. Let's see why they want you to know that, obviously. But it wasn't a severe one. It was a mild one, but it still happened. And so what they're showing me is cognitively coming up, it feels like there's some disconnect. So they just want you to be aware for him, to not get frustrated, because I feel like in even simple reading that there might be some disconnect. Not that he's dyslexic, just not understanding.
Okay.
And it just seems to start coming on slowly. And he thinks, because I feel like he's not old. I feel like he's young, still not teenage, but he's still fairly young.
Yes.
Is he in his early 20s?
Yes.
Yeah. And is he in school right now? Is he thinking about going to school?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Well, some kind of training, possibly.
Okay. The paper is for him. That's why they were showing me the check marks, and that's his whatever he's going to be doing. It's in this training that he starts thinking that he's, for lack of better words, what they're telling me, he feels like he's stupid, and he's not. So there's just a little bit of disconnect. So just to have him go do the checkup with the doctor, and have that looked at, because it's not severe. It's just there. It's just a little disconnect going. So he just has to. What they're going to do is just teach him how to retrain that part back. That's it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So collectively coming through, that was. feel like, is your grandfather passed?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have a grandfather, but were you really close to him, or has your dad passed? Because I feel like it's
No.
it is a grandfather, but a really close one. Did you go see him a lot?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah. Was he strict? Did he tell you things, though, or try to get you to do things? Because I feel like he's even still wanting to do that right now. Trying to tell you what to do.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, this is your grandfather. And it also is another female, there is two females, okay. And this would be your grandmother as well. This is also, the other one is a younger energy, though. It's a female. Do you have a friend that passed? Because she doesn't feel like family. But it feels like she's been gone a while. Her energy's, it's older. When you were younger, in your teenage years, her name starts with an S. That's okay. She might, when they do this, because of the energy that's coming through, because your grandfather's being really kind of wanting to get, talk right over me when I'm talking. I'm like, well, okay, just hold on. Like, I'm having another conversation while I'm trying to talk to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, just give me a second.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, I don't know if he was
Yeah.
that with you, but he's kind of pushy with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, I always learn something new in all of these, because it's like she's holding space for both of them to come through. Your grandmother has been passed a while, because she's holding the space for her. Just means that they're energetically a little bit lower. They've been maybe passed a long time, or, okay.
She's been about 3 years.
Okay. That's not
Too
a long
long,
time.
right.
Yeah, no. So she's just holding space for them. That's really interesting. Maybe to help me out. Thank you. With the pushy grandfather. Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just told him. I'm like, all right, you can go ahead and say whatever you want to say. He goes, finally. Gosh. Wow. Okay. This is totally different than what I thought he was going to say. He literally was like, please, 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 don't stop doing what you have been. You have been an amazing mom. And he's like, I am very, and he's not using the word proud, which is interesting. It's almost like he's saying he's overwhelmed with gratitude for what you are doing and